Hello there, Seraphim17 once again. This is my Star Fox Zero video walkthrough. This is the final mission is not a word, guys, there's an I there. Final mission of the game. It's entitled Venom, the final battle, and we're taking on Starwolf and his team for the final time. So this is my favourite encounter in the game, because it's actually pretty tricky and really fun. And when I say pretty tricky, it's tricky to do it fast. Beating it is really easy. Doing it quickly is where the skill comes in here. And what I like to do is I like to hit them prematurely with some bombs at the beginning. And whenever I see somebody on my ass, I like to fly low because they will follow you. And then I like to bomb the floor and try and get them in the splash. And then everything else is me using my lasers, because the lasers cut these dudes to ribbons. If you can upgrade your lasers, you'll do even more damage. If you need life, because you're getting too many hits, kill the turrets that are all over the surface of this planet, or go into the trenches. Either way, you will get your life back. After this, we're going to be doing some interesting flying, and then we're going to be taking on Andros, the final boss, as is customary to Star Fox games. And unfortunately, it's one of the worst bosses in the game. It's not very fun, it's very basic, it's just kind of fiddly more than anything, and it outstays its welcome. And at the end of it, there's going to be a sequence where we're running away from Andros, and because I didn't get mission accomplished, I probably didn't do the right ending to get the really cool boss fight and all that kind of stuff. But it's okay. I just feel, if anybody's played The Wonderful 101, the end of this game is so underwhelming in comparison. It's it's hard to envision this being a platinum game. Like, it was one of the issues that I had with Korra. Not so much Transformers, because I think Transformers did it gracefully, but Platinum were known, in my eyes, for just elevating things. Like, look at the midway of Bayonetta compared to the end. At the end, you're taking on a god in space after driving up a rocket, launching into space on a motorcycle. That sounds ridiculous, and it is. You know, they build to these ridiculous set pieces. And Korra kinda, you know, you took on a big dude who was just kind of a big dude. And he was a muscly guy, he looked a little bit like Mr. Roshi, and that was it. So it felt a little disappointing. Wonderful 101, another one that ever escalated, and just got massive and wacky, several forms, super over the top, Platinum style. And then we come to games such as this, and like Turtles is even more hilarious because the true final boss has to be unlocked by performing well in the level, and it's kind of random. And then when he does turn up, he's the exact same version of the boss you've just fought, he's just electrified, which is super underwhelming. But they kind of fizzle out, and if you've played those, you know, Kamiya projects where shit goes crazy, you'll understand what I mean. It's a little bit of a downgrade. Like, I always think of it like a Final Fantasy boss, you know, a final boss in a Final Fantasy. They're always massive, they always take too long, they're always got really cool, awesome, orchestral, bombastic soundtracks, and a lot of the times it's just, you know, here's this enemy that we spend all the budget on designing over-the-top attacks. That's what the final bosses are, and that's what makes those bosses so fun, if you like RPGs, and more particularly Final Fantasy. Which is pretty cool. But on this sequence here, you're going to notice the game's going to give you a lot of lives and a lot of continues, and there's a good reason for this, guys. This game works off a traditional arcade system of continues. If you run out of lives, which are the ships next to your number in the top, you have to start the level from the beginning. I have no idea who likes this, other than hardcore shmup runners who reset after every mistake, or speedrunners that are too hardcore to, you know, even record their own times because they have to memorize them all because they're that hardcore. Who are these people that want this? I will never understand. Like, I can appreciate doing it yourself. Hitman's a great example. The new Hitman gives you 0 penalties for saving, so you can do the levels with 1,000,000 saves, or you can choose to do no saves to make it more difficult. It's a choice, it's not enforced, and it's beautiful. The people who like doing that can do that, the people who don't. Whereas this game, do you hate restarting levels when you fuck up because you don't know a boss and you tried to learn it but you lost your lives? Here's a fucking restart, no choice, boom, play it again. And you can say that it's a method of artificially extending the game's length, and it is, but at the same time, it's better if those games are actually fun. That's my argument. Like, I don't mind resetting on Devil May Cry, because I love those games, and I understand how rank works, which is if you fuck up, you've got to try again. That's the point, that's what makes it hard. But when it's a game that I'm not as fond of, why do they do this? Why is it cool now to just, you know, no checkpoints, fuck you. No checkpoints, fuck you. Have fun. And that's how I knew that Turtles was going to be bad. Because the first thing I did was pause it to see how fast it loaded when I restarted checkpoint, and there wasn't even an option to restart checkpoint. And that's when I knew I'm not going to like this game. But this is Andros, and there's a lot of people that really like this game, which is awesome, because you guys have got a new Star Fox game and you're having fun with it. I wish I liked it as much as some of the people I've been reading comments from who are really digging it. But the goal here is simple. Shoot his hands until they blow up and they'll vanish, and then shoot his mouth / his eyes. It all depends on where you want to put the lasers. I just kind of shoot when his gob's open, and I think that's the way to do it. And what will happen is you do these moments where you're inside here as the chicken walker thing. All of these moves can be dodged by doing dodges left to right. Be careful, they do have lingering hurt boxes, you can dodge into them and take damage. And the claps and stuff, this is a tricky one. If you do not stun him during the clap, it hurts you anyway, which is a little frustrating. You've got to be really accurate and really fast to get this stuff working. And it takes a little practice, but you'll be fine. I like to run away from this move, and then I like to turn and shoot his hand normally. But there will come a point where he wants you to get out of this internal core. If you don't do it, you'll get hit by this AoE force field that does a lot of damage. And it's every time you stun him, and I think you have to stun him, give or take 3 times. This is the first stun, so turn into the R-Wing and get the hell out of the centre. Now we're going to have to do some depth perception. You see that bullshit? The way the camera pivots as you're exiting there is stupid. It completely changes the direction of your ship. It's wonky as hell, don't like it. But dodge the beams. Do your best. They take off a decent amount of damage for a game like this. And judging if you're at the right height is a skill, and it does take a while to get used to. And now you have to use the controller to see which one of these entrances is actually open, so you can fly through it. And it seems like I'm coming up on one now. Yeah, there it is. Accidentally did a loop-the-loop, always fun. And then it's the second phase. So Andros is going to do the same things he did before, he just has one less hand. So shoot the gem on his palm, and then when it's destroyed, you'll stun him again, and you have to get out and do the same thing. You might be wondering what I meant when I said the camera goes goofy when you're exiting. The moment your craft crosses the threshold of being inside and outside, the camera does a U-turn, and it affects your controller, because if you're holding a direction, that direction changes when the camera spins. So you can go into walls and die, you can end up getting stuck in the core by accident, you can end up going in all kinds of bad places. I don't think it's good design at all. I think it should have waited until you were outside, and then it should have slowly rotated, rather than just, oh, flip camera. It's a bad choice. But once again, once you know it's there, you can learn to adjust to it. This is a grab, so you have to smash the gem or you will take damage here. Kind of annoying, but it works. This should be the final one. Oh no. If you don't get hit and you have better lasers, this will be way faster. But I'm a scrub on this game, so you're just going to see pretty standard strats here, guys, as I try and shoot the glass on his palm. That's the end of his hand. Oh, no, hand's still here. Oh, yeah, it was. Time to get outside. What am I doing? Get in the R-Wing, Chris. You're going to get hurt. There's an exit. Watch it flip. See it? That time it wasn't too bad. It's the times when it gets you hurt is the ones I disagree with. So once again, how's your depth perception? Do a little bit of dodging. And now when it stops, we can go back in. Cockpit view to see the gap. Get yourself in there. You don't actually need the cockpit view, it's just using your TV is difficult because the camera is in that cinematic GTA mode. There goes his hand. Is he going to do the force field or can we shoot his face? I can't tell. Yeah, he's doing the force field. I'm fucked. Wow, I salvaged it. That was really lucky. That was looking rough. Yeah, it's just... See what I mean? Once you see the strategy, it's really simple. The only problem is... because it's such a long fight and you can take damage really easily, it's very easy to mess this up. So I reset on this a couple times on my first playthrough because of stuff like this. Not making my turns, you know. Just inexperience with the game. But once we get inside, we can start hitting him again and hopefully put him down. So now we're shooting his face. There's a laser upgrade which would be really useful, but I don't think I'm going to get it. No. So... he does a mixture of attacks here. The first one is this, where he's tossing all the Tetris blocks at you. So you can shoot the blocks and you can shoot his mouth. Whenever you see him going red, it means you're doing damage. So mash that trigger, work on that repetitive strain injury, and here comes eye lasers. This goes high, low, or low, high. Depending on his position, depends on which one it is. I think they might all be low, high. See, that was high twice. So just watch his position. If he goes up, go down. If he goes down, go up. It's that simple. It's easy to get clipped, though. Happens to the best of us. And then just strafe and shoot his mouth. And then from here on, he can do a facial charge at you, which you can dodge just by strafing. It's coming now. Telegraphs it. Oh, we got the stun. So when you stun him, I like to fly to his back and then shoot the gem. If you've got any bombs, you can save them for here and maybe kill him quicker. But just focus on getting clean shots and international track and field your finger to do as much damage as possible. So this one's low. Then he goes high. Then he goes low. Then he goes low again. So he does mix it up a little bit. You'll just have to pay more attention than I did then and avoid the hits. There he goes with his face move of doom. More eye lasers. Yeah, it's just a boring fight. I can't stand last bosses that are boring. It really takes away from my enjoyment of the game. That was one of my biggest concerns with Ninja Gaiden 2 as well. How many people, when you first played Ninja Gaiden 2, thought that that big slimy boss that climbs up that chamber was going to be the final boss, where all it does is puke at you and you fire arrows at it? I was so worried that was going to be the final boss, and then of course it turns into that awesome thing at the end. And then it redeems itself, even though that's one of the easiest bosses in the game, once you know how to position yourself to like the side of him and do the iframe through certain moves. But is he going to do the face thing? Oh no, he's going to do more Tetris pieces. It's just not very interesting. So let's talk anime, seeing as everybody likes anime, right? Unless you're a fan of Mighty Number 9, because then you're lonelier than an anime fan on prom night, right guys? Because that's funny and edgy. That's what all the gamers like to hear. Crying in the tears of their own virginities. What a wonderful piece of PR that was. Recently, I've been watching animes and I've been getting so bored with them, it's not even funny. It really is. Like, I watched, is it Battleground Blood Blockade or something? The new Yashahiro Night Owl thing that's not that new. Like, what the fuck is that show, dude? Aside from the humour and some clever ways that the plot ended up lining up, that was one of the most boring animes I've ever watched. Nothing happened. Nothing was explained. It was just all build up and no orgasm. It was terrible. There goes the boss, by the way. Now we get to run away from him and dodge his moves. It even had a rip-off character in it that looked like that vampire from Guilty Gear. Like, what the fuck is he doing, dude? I enjoyed Trigun so much. The anime wasn't as good, but it was still fun. That thing just... no, don't get it. Weird. Then I watched Ninja Scroll, which I have the movie of Ninja Scroll, so I never watched the anime because it always looked a bit tacky, a bit low quality. So I decided to watch that, and it was okay, but it was so formulaic, it just got boring. Then I watched Blade of the Immortal, which I actually really liked, and then it was 13 episodes, it stopped before it even got a chance to start, and it was weird and metaphysical and somber, and I was really digging it, and then it's just done, and apparently they never finished it, so you've got to read the manga if you're interested. Had a great soundtrack too, so that bummed me out. Then I tried something else, but it was weird. Like, I have no idea what it was. I just picked it because it was a picture of anime things. I'll watch that, episode 1, English dub, let's do this. And everybody was singing. It was an anime musical. I've never seen anything like it, but the songs were in Japanese. So it was like watching the Phantom of the Opera in Japanese, and it was kind of glorious, but I wasn't in the mood. So, banged it off. And then I found Claymore, which I was under the impression that Claymore was a female version of Berserk. It was just a girl, it was super violent, it was full of exploitative sex and boobs, and I never went near it. But this anime, I'm about 12 episodes in, I'm loving it. It's dark, I've not seen any boobs yet, which is an improvement, because it's actually focusing on a decent story. It's very violent, it's mature, it's really, really cool. I recommend it if you've not seen it. It seems really awesome so far. But that was Star Fox, guys. I wish I'd have been more enthusiastic and a bit more knowledgeable about the game, but I played it for one day. It kind of broke my heart, and I made the walkthrough because I promised that I would. So thank you for watching. If it didn't help you, that sucks. Hopefully it did. If you just came here for the voice and some entertainment, hopefully we were able to share some discussions and stimulate some comments and what have you. But the next things on the channel will be a Dark Souls walkthrough that you're seeing right now. And then it's going to be Mirror's Edge. There's going to be other things too, finishing up projects that have been going on for far too long, Lots of diversity, guys, lots of different stuff. And of course, if you're new here, or if you don't know, I've got no internet, so check out my live stream. I'm going to be trying to do it every day, and I should be able to answer all your questions that you've got there, / just hang around and chill while we play games and just enjoy. Thank you for watching. You take care now.